You see, one thing about God is He would bypass your emotions and do what is best for you in such a loving way that you will stretch, but you can't be offended at the end of the day, because you realize, I didn't know I could do that. Thank you, God. Hi guys, welcome back to another video from Hello Wema. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for going on this journey with me. Today, we'll be talking about Power in Heels. Power in Heels is a program that I had put together on the 16th of November last year, 2025. Now, the idea came in July of last year, June actually. But I kept shoving it away, not because I didn't think that I could do it, but because I felt like I did not want to give that much time or energy or money to that kind of cause. I just felt, what was the need? And then gather people and say what? And do what? So who would even listen to me? Who would come? Like, it's one thing to tell people, oh God, I'm having a party, and then what happens when they get there? So I didn't even want to think about it, because I was bothered that if I did, maybe I might actually change my mind and want to do it. Then the next question, who would sponsor it? So I remember having that conversation. I just said it very lightly to a friend. He just came up one day and said, look, you have between now and the end of November to get this thing done. And so I started, because this is somebody that I take very seriously, and then I started getting confirmation from friends, pastors, and basically people that were closest to me. So I said, okay, let's see what this would be. Let's see how this can be. Then we started planning. Of course, I had to get my assistant on it. There are people that I work with that I consider good friends, and I had that conversation with them. I had a conversation with Wamide, the co-founder of Custom, a non-profit that I volunteer with. And I had a conversation with Love, somebody who I work with as well, who's also has now become dear to my heart. I had the conversation with both of them, and I kept bouncing ideas back and forth. Now, the planning the events was not the problem. Like I said, what would I say to these people? Yes. And then I had spoken with this friend of mine that gave me the November deadline, and he said, you're not supposed to be asking me, you're supposed to be asking the person who sent you. So go back to God in prayer and say, hey, look, God, if you're sending me on this errand, I think it is only fair that you give me like instructions on what to do and stuff. So I had the conversation, and everything started coming together, and it was very beautiful. I was scared that people would not turn up, or people would not want to apply, apart from maybe my inner circle of friends. We needed 15 girls. We got 50 applications. And first of all, I felt and still feel very honored, because out of 50 people, I knew barely 18 or 20. I doubt that I knew up to 20. But then I started seeing, oh, this person reposted, that person saw me, that person told me, that person referred me, and I got applications. Some applications were very lazy, and some stood out, some were very beautiful. And I said, okay, look, these are the people, God, that I'm considering. I'm going to give it to 2 separate people to choose, so that my biases don't get in the way. Anybody who we 3 agreed on, then they'll get on the list. Coincidentally, out of 15 people, all 3 of us agreed on 12. So the other 3 where we had like maybe, okay, I think this person, okay, I don't think this person, but we had 12 solid people. Then I sent over to my assistant, and I said, start calling. Now, she was handling the calling, the reaching out, the sending messages, keeping up with them until the time for Hangout came. So planning, I had gone to about 4 venues. And one thing with me is I go with my gut, and when I just feel like, look, this is it, even when it doesn't look like it, I'm very convinced that this is it. And in the long run, I never have regretted ever going with my gut. So when I went to all the venues, the one we finally used, we had gone there first. Nobody was there. I couldn't get the manager. I couldn't get anybody. And I'm like, look, this is not serious. Went on to somewhere else. I saw somewhere that I felt, the ambience was very beautiful, but I don't know. So I didn't put any down payments or anything. So much later, this same friend that gave me the November deadline said, let's go back to this venue. So I thought, okay, let it not look like I'm being stubborn, right? Let's try again. We got there. It was the manager of the place that welcomed us in. I told him what I wanted to do. I told him, look, it's November 16th. It's a Sunday. I don't know how your crowd is on Sundays. I wouldn't want people to be playing faji and like basically playing loud music when we're trying to have intimate conversations. And he's like, you know what? If it's Sunday you want, Sunday it will be. So what do you want to do? And I told him, and then he opens up a lounge that I've never seen in that place before. And this lounge was the most perfect venue I could have ever thought about. The size, the lighting, the quietness, it was so perfect. And I'm like, okay, so fine. Let me see your menu. Let me see the cost. Saw the menu was perfect. Saw the cost, the drinks. And then I told him, oh, I'm going to bring in maybe cakes and maybe a few other things. And he says, oh, fine. The venue will be for free as long as you're buying food from us. You can have the entire lounge. Now, usually they pay for the lounge, but he told us we could have the entire lounge as long as we bought food from them. I said, great, perfect. How about outside? Do we get to use outside? He says, sure. When you're done with your conversations, your intimate conversations, you ladies can eat or have fun or party outside. I say, ha, is this not the finger of God? Anyway, so that went, and the venue was sorted. Got my assistant to keep reaching out to people. Now, human beings will always be human beings. At a point, it felt like I was now begging these girls. You girls applied for something, and it looked like they weren't forthcoming. My assistant was saying, oh, I know, Ma, you want these people. I said, look, I'm not, no. If you want to, fine. If you don't, fine. So I gave her the entire list. I'm like, look, pick at random, replace with whomever you want. And while she was doing all of this, I would still be in the background praying and saying, look, God, let it be the people that you want to be here that would actually get here. So at the end of the day, got to my vendors. By the way, big shout out to my vendors. I had started putting together the gifts that I was going to give my vendors. I think I would put a list of them somewhere at the side. So I had One Drop Essentials, I had Halima Cooks and Bakes, I had, of course, the lounge that we used, Grey House. I had Sam's Prints and Graphics for the bag. I had Thrifts by Dasa, a few of the souvenirs I'd gone to the market to get. Big ups, thank you so much to all my vendors. They did such an amazing job. Quality items, prompt delivery. I recommend anytime, any day. Amazing guys. Now, into the program, when we finally came, things were going awry at first. So I'm like, what happened? Now, again, the importance of having great friends. I had called on one of my closest, oldest friends, Blessing, and I said, look, Blessing, I don't know what you want to talk about, but do you? Blessing also happens to be a pastor's wife as well. She's a pastor and a pastor's wife. I'm like, do you, baby? Peace. So Blessing said, I don't know what I will say to them. I said, pray. I'm pretty sure you and God can figure out something. So she came around. Now, she was in my house earlier. One thing about Blessing, I don't have friends that are not serious-minded people. So Blessing was in my house earlier. Now things were going awry. And Blessing looks at me and she's like, look, cast away that worry from you. Everything will go as planned. This anxiety, leave it at the door. You are who you say. You are exactly who you think you are. Like, began to really point to me. I'm like, I'm big, I'm brave, I'm beautiful. Anyway, so we get there and then we couldn't get any Uber. Thankfully, again, the hand of God. Imagine if we had to go to a very far lounge. Now, this lounge wasn't so far. It was something we could easily walk. But then we were like on makeup, on heels. Friends pulled through. Pulled up in a car and was like, baby, say no more. Pack your stuff, let's go. So they helped convey like the gift bags, the cake, everything. We got there. Now conversation started. At first we introduced ourselves. I was nervous because if you know me, you know that I'm not exactly a fan of girls gathering in one place because of past experiences. So I got in there, I'm like, look, I am big, I'm brave, I'm beautiful, and all those other things that Blessing said. Amen. Then we got talking. My content creator, how could I forget? Thank you very much, Dealings. Yes, amazing guy. He was the only guy in our midst. Very amazing guy, and he did an amazing job. If you'd seen the part 1 and 2 of my highlight, the part 3 will come after this video. So we got into it, and then it turned into much more than I thought was going to happen. Because all of a sudden, tell me why strangers are entrusting me with delicate details about themselves, and it became like a whole bonding sisterhood. You know what, girl, I have gone through dirty this year, I have lost this person, lost that person. I felt very honored because this is something I do with my inner circle, but then to have strangers come to me to say, I feel like I can trust you with this, and then we've maintained a bond afterwards, because this is January of the new year, and we've maintained a bond afterward. It was very beautiful.
Like with
So
someone,
it's the person.
and at the end of the day, I start regretting it.
Let's go to God. There is no
That's
give me
why I was like, you should have your vegetables and
So you're not okay.
I think that what she said about the
She's not completely. It's the person.
It was very wholesome. We got to talking, we got to like crying together, laughing together, praying together, sharing our goals together. And it was very beautiful to see. Another thing that I am grateful for is the fact that these people that I have spoken with, I just spoke with a friend. No, I didn't even speak with her. She saw the video and she's like, look, Wema, I love what you're doing. Here's some money. Get yourself a cake or something. I had spoken with Love, and Love said, you know what, I would gift you free coaching or a conversation, really, and these conversations are priced at least $500 per every 30 minutes, I think. And so I'm like, oh, you're gifting me $1,000 for free for these girls. I hope they know what they are getting with the food and comfort. It was so beautiful. All in all, I am grateful. Something I learned from my mom is, if God chooses you to do something, feel honored, because for every one person that complains, there are 70,000 prophets that have not bowed their head to bow. I know this, but it has reminded me that if God sends you on an assignment, He provides. You're the one overthinking it. The person who knows the end from the beginning already knows that you are capable. This is not a detailed video of the entire process, because severally I would enter Love's DM and she's like, it is 2 a.m. in Nigeria. Why are you awake? I'm like, yeah, because you see, girl, because you see, I can't. And when I'm done, she's like, so you can do it? Go and sleep and come back when you're awake, and don't come back with these feelings. Your feelings are right, but they're not true. And so it was a lot of things. I'll tell one is like, calm down. So I was all over the place. But at the end of the day, also big ups to my friend Esther, who helped me source for the fabrics that we ended up using as the scarves for the girls. It was beautiful. It was very beautiful. Do I want to do this again? I'm not so certain. Will I likely do it? Maybe. But I have gotten a beautiful community out of this. I am grateful to be able to do this, and it is a big flex to say I have this project and to not have to beg or borrow. So that's a big flex as well, and I'm grateful to God for that ability as well. But anyway, there are things lined up for this year. So if you're a young lady, you're 19 years old or older, feel free to leave in the comments if you know that you want to be a part of this community. There's room for you. It is absolutely free, and we will add you to the community, and you can get all the wonderful benefits of being a part of Power in Heels. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you very much. I hope that you go and see the highlights of the event, the part 1 and 2, and watch out for the part 3. Happy New Year, guys.
Full outfit check. Accessories, necklace. Really grateful to everybody that has shown up and shown out, and thank you, Celine. You're my selling point. Without you I can do nothing. But really I'm grateful, and fingers crossed, who knows, maybe we'll have more hangouts like this. Here, oh Father, help me on this list. Help me on this list. Anyway, yes, the sun is, why do you look fine? Why do you look so fine? Well, hopefully I look better on that blue light, because it's a lot.